What's going on, members? It's a boy Liswa Mutupi. We're back again onto my YouTube channel. So what we like to do on Sundays is that normally me and my premium members will be going over the market, take a look at the market, obviously filter out the setups that are not high probable, and then we take the ones that are high quality and then we focus on them, so that during the week, instead of just focusing on all types of setups and pairs, we focus on those specific ones. So as you can see here, I've got my chart, so I want us to dive more deep into it just so you can be able to see the pairs that I've got here for you guys. At the same time, if you are new to this channel, this is what I like to do almost every Sunday, Monday. At the same time, make sure to just subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and continue to just share it, because I can see that these videos are getting a lot of likes from people that are watching. It means that I do produce value as you guys requested. And also, just to inform you guys, because I've been getting a lot of people asking me when is the Forex Seasons 2.0 course opening, and others are even crying, begging me to actually take a course from me, even though I said that for a specific time frame it's going to be off. So as of I think the 1st of April, the course is going to relaunch. Obviously better than ever. Support structure is like super amazing. So I'll just going forward, I'll just be giving you guys more details about it, but in order to just be the first one of the first ones to get it, because I only deal with specific number of people, even when it does open, it's going to be open for just limited number of people. So I'll just put the Telegram channel link below, whereby you'll be able to get access. So when I do launch it, you'll be able to know more about it, and then you can take advantage of that at the same time. But let us not waste any more time and then jump into the chart. So I've got here the dollar index. Obviously, we have to look at how the market moves from the dollar side. And then I like the fact that I also started like focusing more into indices. So I've got like my US 500, S&P 500. I've got my US 30. I've also got oil. I've also got also NASDAQ that I'll focus on. So these are one of the indices that I want to be focusing on, even though I'm not going to be covering them onto the live session, but it's just pairs or indices that I fell in love with just by backtesting, or because I didn't even finish my data. I didn't finish backtesting all these data, but just by looking at them, it's pairs that I fell in love with, and I understand how they move, technical side of it. So I'm looking forward into trading them, as even for the week when I was going through the live session with the premium members, it was super amazing to just see that these pairs really do play out the way that we want them to play out. So going forward, I hope that they will produce good profits for us. But let us jump onto it and see what the market is giving us for this week. So as you can see, I've got dollar index. So it's almost like the same as last week as we spoke about it. As we mentioned that we've got a push to the upside here, and then obviously the correction, and now a push to the downside. So obviously whenever there's a big impulsive move, there also have to be a corrective form some way. So let's say now this is just an impulsive, this is a correction, impulsive, correction, impulsive. But after these small these small corrections, eventually there will come a deeper structure correction. So normally people would think that it's a change of trend or so on. Meanwhile, it's not even that, because just by taking a look at this, you can see it's a push, obviously a young correction to the upside, came back, couldn't break the lows, but it now pushed all the way to the upside, couldn't break the highs, meaning that we are now stuck in between the lower lows and the lower highs. And then as you can see, I like the fact that it gave us a beautiful double top structure. And just by looking at it also, the candlestick, just by going a bit more close to it. Okay, let me just zoom it a bit more onto it. Okay, just by looking at it, you can see that we've also got a pattern within pattern structure, which gives us much more greater high probable, saying that we're going to the downside. So that's one thing that I like about the setup. So obviously, like I did mention, the double top structure here. And then obviously, let me just do this. Here we've got our first touch, as you can see. We've got our second touch here, and now experiencing this third touch. I like the fact that it also confirmed with the evening star. As you can see, it's an engulfing candle to the upside, this undecided candle, and the next was an engulfing to the downside. So we've got a confirmation of price pushing to the downside before it even happened. So afterwards, yes, it did push, then created this new lower low, lower high. So now price broke the previous lower lows. Obviously it means that price can come, test the previous supports as resistance. Obviously we can even have some type of a scenario that's like this. Okay, first touch here, second touch, now here, third touch. Obviously saying that price shouldn't break this trend line of ours. This is how we're going to manage our trades. But you do know that the market is actually not perfect. The market doesn't really happen in a picture perfect way. So that's what most people are caught up in. People would just have a support area or a resistance area, and then when it does break, they think that the breakout is valid. Meanwhile, it's not that way. The market just tests the ones that are patient, takes money from the impatients, give it to the patient ones. So what can also happen is that price can just push a bit more to the upside. Then you can receive just a young correction. Okay, sorry about this, getting some emails. Okay, we can receive, we can get just a young correction. Let me just do this, just a young correction here. maybe a double bottom too, a double top, and then obviously structure how it gets there is what matters. Then you can take a sell. So basically it's important of you to open yourself up to all types of scenarios that can happen from the markets. So we just have to be observant of this one here. But to be honest, we have a lot of momentum. How you catch it would be you obviously having to just see, because I can't really say that you're gonna sell here and it's gonna go down. Obviously I know the types of scenarios that can come. I've got already 2-3 types of scenarios. Obviously it's this, the first one, which is here. Second one would be us managing with the trend line that I've shown you, and the third one would be this. Obviously if it doesn't go through these 3 scenarios, it means that when it does go upwards, it means that I won't be in the trade, because eventually it means that I didn't get tagged in because I have a sell stop. So another scenario that I nearly forgot would be price just pushing to the downside, breaking, and then which would be a good one. Breaking, it's a reduced risk entry, then confirming with the correction, obviously then we'll take another sell opportunity to the downside. But there's a lot of ways that you can forecast and expect the market to play out. Then that way, one thing that I like is that if it does play out in the way that you've been waiting for that to happen, that's more, you have more chances of being right, because you waited for that move to present itself. So you're patient enough to wait for that move. So once it did present itself, you are even more confident in taking a trade. So that's a high quality setup, and just by doing that, you'll see that a lot of your trades are going to go into the positive. So this is the dollar index, and obviously just by coming here, I would say that these are my first targets here. First targets and second targets are like here, and there's still room to the downside. Let me just do this. There's still room, even though this is our overall target, there's still more room to the downside, because this will just be just one big structure here. If I just add this, okay, what did I do? Okay, if I just add this and also this, this will just be one big impulse and one big structure. So price can easily just do, obviously just break, come all the way to the downside, and then once it does get here, maybe we get a descending, then it goes up one more time, then obviously then one last time, then we get that third touch too, then we get a sell from there. So this is actually more likely to happen. We'll just see. Obviously we're not market makers, I can't say this is going to happen and it happens that way. What I'm doing is that I'm just forecasting possible scenarios, and then I'm waiting for them to play out, and then once the one that I waited for to plays out, then I have a much more better chance in winning. Okay, so let me just go out from here, but you did see the dollar index. So let us go on to USDMXN, one of the setup that I'm willing to share with you. USDMXN. Okay, let us see what it has for us. So I'm not going to be going from the bigger time frame all the way to the smaller time frame, because I've been on the screen speaking with the premium members for over like 1 hour 30 minutes. So obviously I do get tired just like engaging and doing all sorts of things. But on USDMXN, it really is interesting. So if you want me to explain what it is that I'm explaining now, but you want me to actually you want to see me explain the details going from bigger time frames all the way to smaller time frames, then that's what you get in the Forex Jesus 2.0. Obviously at the same time, that's what we do every Sunday. So with this one, let me just start off first with the bigger time frame. Let's see if it will give us something. Let us see if there's something that's promised you. Okay, yeah. On the bigger time frame, you can simply see that we've been waiting for a push to the downside, even though we've been capitalizing previous pushes to the downside. So with this one here, super simple, man. Remember that the dollar is losing strength, and now I'm looking to actually take my first targets anywhere close to your second targets here, but the overall target should be still here at the 90 target, somewhere close to here. Looking to still go all the way down to there. So I'm with this one here. Obviously this impulsive leg happened, now this corrective phase. And one thing that I like is that that bigger structure gave us a correction, but we've got a pattern within a pattern structure on that bigger structure, which makes it much more higher probable for us to execute a trade on it. So we need to be observant of how we're going to capitalize on this trade. So one thing that I like is that obviously just by taking a look at it, you can simply see that it presented a beautiful inverse hammer here. You can see this beautiful inverse hammer, this candlestick, whereby it's actually inverse, which means that there's a lot of movement to actually the downside. Like it tried to push all the way to the upside, but the price wasn't so strong. The bearish took advantage of that, and then eventually price happened to close like this. Obviously we've also got multi-touch confirmations, our first touches, second touches, third touches, and also the pattern within pattern structure. And I've got this as my resistance zone, indicating me of actually what's more likely to happen. and one more push to the downside. Obviously next candles can obviously be bearish candles. That's one thing that I would like to see from the market. But just by going back to the 16-minute and the 15-minute, because I spotted something on the 15-minute which was much more amazing. Okay, I'm trying to be a bit more fast because I can see my battery is like going low, which means that the camera can go off anytime soon, which will suck if I have to begin or do something. But I'm just taking a look at this. Like I did mention, that bigger structure continuation to the downside, and also this pattern within pattern structure confirms to the downside. So now it did take a lot of people out here. People were selling, took them out, people were buying, confused them and so on. But I like the fact that it's almost like the same thing. See how this impulse happened, this correction, now the next impulse is happening. It's almost like the same setup that we caught 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, because the same thing happened. Price pushed upwards and then people were caught on the wrong side of the market, obviously, and then price just done. It came back with a retrace, shot all the way to the downside, gave us a beautiful correction on the 15-minute. Then we took a sell. As you can see, we took home close to 5% on just the single position. Took home close to 5%, which is still amazing, you know, being able to just take home on just one single position, not even a trade, but one position. So yes, price did continue to push all the way to the downwards, hit the close to the 90 targets, obviously started retracing somewhere around here. And then now we're experiencing this, but it's almost like the same thing. See what happened whenever USDMXN wants to continue going to the downside. Basically, you can see this, that it pushes a bit more to the upside, takes the ones that are on the wrong side of the market, then it shoots down. So it's the same thing here. We're looking to just take a sell all the way to the downside. So there could be ways. There could be that, okay, the market can still just go to the downside, correct once more, then go to a downside. There's different ways that the market is actually going to play out as soon as it opens, that we are going to capitalize from. But what I'm trying to say is that the overall move here is to the downside, and there's a lot of potential all the way to the downside. So this is looking beautiful. So let me see any other pair or setup that I can maybe share with you guys. Okay, let's just see the US 500. Okay, let me just check quickly the US 500. Obviously, guys, I won't have enough time to go through all the pairs that I need, because there's things that I also have to touch on. But just do make sure that you do get as much value from this USDMXN and the dollar index, and also maybe USD the S&P 500, just to see what the market has for us. So now, obviously, while I had the premium the live session with the premium members, we spoke a lot about this. So we mentioned that, like, you know, since it's 500 companies here, since the US 100, the Nasdaq is including non-financial companies. This one here, basically, you can even take a look at even banks are involved here and so on. So for now, one thing that I was seeing, because of what's happening now, not only in our country, but like all countries out there, people are locked down, companies are shut, and business is going to be back booming as soon as the lockdown is done. Because, you know, when you look at Walmart, for instance, for people in the US, you understand what Walmart is. For the ones that are not in there, it's almost like, you know, ShopRite for us, or Pick n Pay or Checkers or anything like that. Basically, it's a retail store, one of the biggest retail store. So taking a look at that, like, you know, shops that are basically closed, not too sure if it's closed that side, but shops that are closed, you understand that the market is a bit more stopped for them, like it's not really operating, it's not really moving. So when it does, the lockdown does happen to, let's say for instance McDonald's, when it does happen to open up, you know, lockdown, people are able to buy and stuff, so they're going to start generating that cash that they were generating, they're going to start generating profits that they were generating. So we need to be able to just take a look at how we're going to capitalize from when that does happen. But for now, I don't see the businesses pushing going to the upside, because of the lockdown. People are not buying their products or whatever that they have on store. So with that being said, on the bigger time frame, 4 hour, on the 4 hour time frame, we just have a beautiful double top scenario, whereby we were able to spot our beautiful resistance zones. So it's always important to see how price gets to those resistance zones and what it does when it does get there to those resistance zones. So we just have to be a bit more observant with how we are going to be capitalizing towards the marketplace. So let it load a bit more quick, so I jump into it. Okay, there we go. So yes, obviously, like I said, the resistance zone, I just wanted to see how the market gets there. And I like the fact that, you know, these pairs I'm actually working on also a second part of the Forex Chasers course. Maybe I'll add a bit more about the indices, be able to teach more about them, because it's nice, when I go through them, I'm able to just spot some things. I'm able to spot things that I like. I'm also able to, most importantly, understand them a bit more better, just like how I was understanding currencies at the first before, when I started understanding them. So that's what I'm doing on my private time, on my alone time. Obviously I don't have to share with everyone that I'm backtesting S&P 500. I don't have to share with people that I'm really backtesting maybe these specific indices, but it's things that I'm looking to be involved in long term, not just short term. So obviously we've got our first touch here, second touch here, obviously this beautiful push to the downside here, beautiful push. So now there's actually a correction, even though it's in a much more steeper way, we can see a correction. So yes, doesn't really mean that the market can drop all the way to the downside, even though there's a lot of potential to the downside. We'll just have to observe what actually happens going forward. But for now, one thing that I was able to spot is that we can secure close to a 5% on a single position, and I'll show you guys what actually is meant. Okay, what actually is meant, because we've got this beautiful impulsive nature. Now we're in a correction. That correction gave us like double tops, not even double tops, triple tops, and also a pattern structure, ascending pattern. So we are basically just waiting for one thing, which is a confirmation, and then we are going to execute on a sell on it, and then we'll just see where we get to take profit, because I've got two types of target areas. It's actually three types. Obviously the first one is the 90% rule of the structure that we're in. The second one is actually somewhere down to here, and the third one will be all the way to the downside. I'm looking to take profit all the way to the downside. So the network is a bit too slow. Okay, yeah, the network is a bit too slow, guys, so forgive me on that. But the double top structure that I spoke of, the triple top structure, so obviously this, and this, so triple top structure. And I like the fact that yes, it did retrace, so everything gave me perfect. I like the fact that it gave me also the ascending type structure, and also the fact that okay, let it load a bit. But the candles, one thing that I'm waiting for is just the candlestick confirmation. 1 hour retrace candle, any candle that confirms a sell, I'm willing to take onto it. But not only that, I did mention that the main reason of us forecasting is for that, if it happens that the market doesn't go in our anticipated way, we're still able to capitalize from it. Let's say for instance, a person, if they take a sell and then it goes up, it takes them out, they'll think that their trade is invalid. Me now for us would know that, okay, even yes, I did lose 1%, but I'm just waiting for a push to just maybe push, give us this push, then maybe here a touch, and then I'll take another sell. So I lost 1%, but at the end of the day, whenever I get that trade, it's actually giving me 5 times more than what I lost. So with this one here, after this candlestick, since I've got my beautiful triple top first, second, third, we'll just wait for a confirmation as soon as the market opens, and then we'll execute. But the first touch of the first profit is obviously 8.6, much more greater, and then the second target is all the way to the downside. But we'll just have to manage this and see how it actually plays out. But guys, if you actually want me to explaining all these things to you, if you really do enjoy seeing me explain the live session to you, seeing me explain how the market works, seeing me explain literally how the ins and outs of the markets are, obviously you know that the Forex Chasers 2.0 course is for you. Obviously if you are only dedicated, if you're only serious, because it's not really nice working with people that are not serious. But since I'm only taking limited people, I don't want all types of people. I only want specific people that are taking this for you, because also I just spoke with one of the mentors in the group that each and every Wednesday, one thing that I'm going to be doing is that I'll be focusing on the live sessions. Sunday, members of the group each and every Wednesday, they know the mentor in the group, he knows for sure that he's going to be doing a market recap meaning that he goes through the setup that we saw, that we spoke of during the weekend, during the week, and then on Wednesday actually explains as a live session to all the members what is actually most likely to happen going forward during the week, and also what is how the other trades that we took 2 days ago, 3 days ago, how they played out, and if we can still scale in onto trades and so on. So Forex Chasers is actually a growing company, and it's becoming good. I'm actually excited. I wish I was a beginner just so I can join Forex Chasers and be able to make consistent profits. But I showing you guys what it is that I wanted to show you in order to just get instant the free course that I have. I do have a free course. I always speak about it in the YouTube videos. I'll put the link below, but make sure that you do check out the Telegram channel, whereby when I do get to relaunch the course, you can be one of the first people to get the access to this amazing value that I share. Multiple videos. I've got over 44 plus videos into the course, and each and every Sunday we go through the live markets. We've got personal mentors. Whenever you want a one-on-one session, you just request for that, and then you can get that one-on-one session. So there's no reason of you not being able to just profit from the market or be consistent, because we literally hold your hand and then we make sure that you do get to that level. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment below. Maybe comment below a pair that you want me to just cover up in the next live session, and then we will get to speak about. Let's say if you're looking at USD CAD on a bigger time frame, just ask me a pair and then I'll just see what I can do for you. But it's your boy Mutupi. Thank you so much for being back onto my YouTube channel already. If you're a person that likes watching my videos, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe, make sure to come back on the next videos that I post, as you'll get the notification when you just press the notification bell. Thank you.